Okay, in this sequence is a series of videos or a video about setter training and setter prep. This is the sequence I use as a coach to setter train and setter prep in both either the off season or specific positional training, as well as the first part of the practice. This is what my setters would do to prepare for positioning sets, both for sets high and off the net for control shots, and when we go in system set for tempo, they work on all those shots. Sometimes it can be 10 reps a position, 10 reps a set, 15 reps a set, sometimes pushing up to 20, depending on how much time we have to give the setters. And then each setter goes through those, and they will do this as the first part of the practice every single day. When my team is doing some defensive work, my setters are on a separate court doing their setter prep. I can have defensive people doing some serve-receive things, while the setters are on another court working on setter things, and then we would come together and continue our practice in there as well. It's very, very important that the setters get the reps in there so they can be precise and have precision sets and work on their footwork and their hands. So this is a sequence you will see about what I do for setter prep and setter training. Again, we do this all year long, especially in off season, and then of course at the same time we would do this at the start of every practice. So here you go. Here's my setter prep sequence right here. So this first sequence, you can see that the setters we have setting high and outside the net. You notice two cones that are outside in a lane designed for the setter to align her shoulders to get out there. So we also have the setters move. This simulates a serve receive. The setter may have to pursue, and we like to set those high and off the net so that the hitters can hit them in a control shot situation. In those situations where the setter has to move, so you can see she moves around a lot, getting sets high and off. With the hoop and the other setter partner kind of as a target area in there as well. Now this part right here, the passes are more at the target, so now these are tempo sets. These are on the net and they are lower tempo. This sequence, by the way, is the one slot, so we call it, the first one was 12s, which was high and off. These are what we call 11s. The second number is the lower tempo. You can see me giving input to alignment issues, but right there you can see where those the tempo sets, when we're in system, we get a good pass, we can set from there. These sets are in both the B slot and the threes. Notice the setters setting high and off the net. We have a kind of a crossing pattern system here where these are actually outside hitters will be timing in, and these sets will be high and off the net as the outside transitions in and hits those. The second part, these are low. These are designed for middles running Bs. So you can see these are more lower so that middles can run the attack. These are, again, our B sets. So the setters will do both high and offs for outsides and then low and on the net for the middles. In this sequence are A's, of course. These are just for middles. These are low, where the middles run tight right on the setter. Again, these are A sets. Both setters will work on these. These are low in tempo on the net. This one right here is again, reverse. These are set to right sides. Now you're going to see me move the setter around a little bit. These are also high and off the net so that they can work on getting high sets to the right sides to go from there. Then, of course, these are low and on. These are 91s. The first one were 92s. These are when we're in system, the passes at the target, and then the setter is able to set lows and on the nets. For our right sides, we're able to run tempo sets in that right side spot. So as you can see, we're having these low so that we're in system. We're trying to make sure that the blocks are late. That's why my setters run low tempo systems. This last one is in the 7 slot. Again, these are for right sides running behind. These also, by the way, on those can be middles running tempos, these slides, and so forth. So not just for those for the right sides, but for those for the middles in there as well. So this is both for middles and right sides. These are, again, low tempo sets. I call these 71 balls or A1 balls for the middles. And the setters will work on just letting that go back off their shoulders and low so that the right sides can attack. And that concludes my setter prep and my setter training sequence that I do for all my setters, whether in my high school program or club program, but we aggressively do these on the high school side of things. As you noticed before, the rest of the team was doing defensive sequences on the other side of the court. And that's what we do in the high school practices in there as well. So when when the setters are preparing for the practice, doing their setter prep, everybody else is working on some passing components, serve, receive components, and so forth. And again, that concludes our setter sequence.